Welcome to the Thursday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks, everyone. Hope you are having a good day. It's a beautiful day out there. I'm going to start out with just a quick reminder that we've got a lot of new and exciting stuff happening here in the weather department. Yesterday we debuted our new graphics, our new software, and I'm playing a YouTube video behind me here of a video I recorded last night showing off some of the good stuff that we have available now. Some of this technology is stuff that even in big markets such as Cleveland and Pittsburgh, most stations do not have yet. So this is some of the most technologically advanced weather equipment you're going to find anywhere around eastern Ohio and western PA. So if you get a chance, head over to my YouTube channel or my Facebook, Twitter to check out this video from last night. These types of videos that I'm showing you here, I won't do every day, but I will do particularly in active weather. Most of them will be in the mid-evening, and they won't be as scientific and geeky as these kinds of videos, my Weather Geek videos. These will be more of a general weather video, an update during particularly busy weather events, so you can look forward to that. Okay, let's talk about real quickly this August and how it compares to last year. Yes, it's been a somewhat cooler than average August, but it's been a warmer August than last year, believe it or not. Last year's average temperature in the month of August, 68.1 degrees, and through today, and of course we still have a few days left in the month, through today we're at 68.6 for 2014. So it's actually been about a half a degree warmer this August than last year. And of course we've been helped out by the warmer temperatures we've had lately. The month started on a much cooler note than it looks like it's going to end. So a little bit of perspective for you in terms of the last 2 years. Now, what about the summer season? Whoops, didn't mean to minimize that. The summer season has been, of course, cooler than average, particularly since the 1st of July, but this is going to be far from any sort of record-breaking summer in terms of the cool. Our average temperature so far this summer, and if you count summer as being June, July, and August, meteorological summer, we're at 68.5 degrees for the average temperature this summer, just a little below last year. Last year, 68.8. So we've had a couple of cool summers in a row. But this is far from, the top of the list of coolest summers on record. Actually, our coolest on record going back to 1930 was 1972 at 65.9. And way down the list here is this year. We're tied for 31st place on the list of coolest summers here in Youngstown. And, the departures from average have been more significant since July 1st. June was actually above average, but July was way below average, and August will end up being a little bit below average. So we've kind of balanced things out a little bit. July and the first week or so of August was one of the coldest stretches on record during that 4 or 5 weeks, but the summer as a whole, not going to be one of the coolest on record by any stretch of the imagination. Well, speaking of cool, it's below average today as I record this in the 2 o'clock hour. We only have 70 degrees here in Youngstown, but it is beautiful out. The humidity way down, just some popcorn, fair weather, cumulus clouds around. Check out the dew points. This looks a lot different than the map I showed yesterday at this time. Dew points now in the upper 40s and lower 50s. What a refreshing change. If you're heading out to the Canfield Fair this evening, there's, I believe, 7 high school football games locally this evening. Jacket and a sweater, not a bad idea, particularly if you're out closer to sunset. It's going to be a rapid cool down tonight, and tonight will end up being quite a bit cooler than last night was. And last night turned out to be, of course, pretty comfortable. Well, you can see easily where our front has settled. It's kind of right down here, sitting around Cincinnati and Indianapolis and points south. Anywhere north of there, the dry air is winning the battle. South of there, it still feels like Florida with high dew points this afternoon. That air, it's coming back. Just in time to start the weekend, and prime time for the Canfield Fair this weekend. It's going to be pretty hot to kick things off. They're dealing with some showers and storms out here in the middle of the country. We have low pressure centered. Let's bring up the surface map here. Low pressure centered over Nebraska this afternoon with our warm front or our old stationary front, kind of like this. And along the leading edge of that boundary, near and around it, there's going to be some wet weather, and with that boundary lifting back across the Ohio Valley Friday night, probably after midnight, and heading into Saturday, we might be dealing with a stray thunderstorm, but actually I think Sunday brings the better chance of some wet weather. So let's talk about the weekend. And if you have plans this weekend, including, of course, the Canfield Fair, Saturday, we've been advertising a hot day with an increase in humidity as well. Here's the map on Saturday. Low pressure here. Our old front has lifted well to the north. There's a cold front back here. And in that sector, between the cold and warm front, not much is going to go on other than we're going to bake. There could be a stray thunderstorm, especially Saturday afternoon, but that's like a 10 to 20% chance thing. pretty low chances for that. I think there's a higher risk of seeing wet weather by Sunday. So let's talk about Sunday. Here comes our cold front Sunday morning. It's a weak front. Sorry excuse for a front. Low pressure up here, and here's our front Sunday morning. Now, overall, it looks like the best chance for a shower and thunderstorm Sunday might be in the morning. Not going to get that specific with the forecast yet, but kind of starting to lean that way that while the chances in the afternoon might be lower than the morning, we're certainly not going to call for a dry afternoon, but there is a chance that we see one wave of moisture come through in the morning, and then not much happens midday and afternoon before towards Sunday evening, Sunday night, we start to see things ramp back up. That's a possibility. Again, details a little fuzzy at this point, but that is a scenario that I could see unfolding. And then as we head into Labor Day, let's look at Monday here. This day to me doesn't look like a very active day, but there could be a stray thunderstorm. It looks warm, it looks humid, and that's going to be the trend next week. A lot of warm air, a lot of humidity, and with the battle zone between the warmth and the cool air off to the north, that battle zone somewhere nearby, we're probably going to get wet a few times next week. Looks like kind of an unsettled week, a muggy week as we kick off September, and overall it'll average, above normal in the temperature department. 16-day temperature outlook on the GFS model here. Here's our big warm-up for the start of the weekend. 85, maybe a little conservative for the high on Saturday. I suspect it's maybe closer to 87, 88. And then a little bit of a step back with clouds and maybe some rain Sunday, but then Labor Day and Tuesday looking pretty warm. And overall, lots of lower 80s, upper 70s next week. Not a heat wave, but a few degrees above average overall for the first week of September. All right, that's Thursday's weather for Weather Geeks. We'll see you right back here on Friday afternoon. In the meantime, again, check out all our cool new stuff on 21 News tonight at 6 and 11. I'll see you then.